Hello, Titans. Okay, we have some more math to do. So you might want to hit pause so you can write down the homework. It's right down here. Please note that I do need you to do your homework. Write it. I need you to write it darkly, and if you can use a separate piece of paper, I think that would be probably the best thing to do. So right now, this recording is going to be played both Thursday and Friday. So for Thursday people, you're watching right now, and I'm recording right now on Thursday. You need to come to class on Friday on the meet. I'll see you guys on Friday on the meet, and we're actually going to be doing our digital notebook, and we're going to be uploading this homework, which was from yesterday on Wednesday. I gave you this homework. So we're actually, you guys that are in 246, I'm going to show you how to put the digital notebook together so that you can turn in this homework and all the other future homework. So please make sure you're on time in the meet on Friday. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to come back to the lecture in just a minute. I'm going to go and tell you what the homework answers are here. Number 48 is negative 17y plus 28. The homework answer for number 50 is 2c minus 4. Sorry about that. Minus 4. There we go. And number 52 is 37b minus 20. And the last one, yes, did have some big numbers. Negative 721x minus 728. Okay, for those of you that are in period 2, 4, and 6, I will go over this homework assignment with you when I see you in the meet on Friday. So if you have any questions, if you didn't get those right answers, don't despair. I will talk to you about it on Friday during class. And periods 1, 3, 5, I'm seeing you today, so we'll go over those. All right. So we're going to continue section 1.3, page 7 of your notebook. It seems that with these shorter periods, we only have 45 minutes. I'll have to be breaking up the lessons. So just so you know, we won't necessarily all the way go from the essential question down to a summary. We'll get to the essential question and summary that we talked about yesterday when we finish this particular section of section 1.3 in your textbook. Okay, so yesterday on Wednesday, the assignment was on simplifying. Today, we're going to go ahead and we're going to solve for X, solve for Y. So I'm going to just go over some basics. I will make note right here that you should notice there's a hidden 1 right here. Filling in your hidden ones always helps. So when we solve an equation, we're solving for an X or a Y. I want your goal to always be to get the Y or the X, whatever letter that they're using, to be on the left side of the final answer. That is going to become very important in chapter 4. So we're always going to work to end up with the Y on the left. And the number then would be on the right. So if we were to look at this problem, if I want to have just the Y on the left, I need to move over this negative 6 over to the other number. Anytime you go over this bar right here, whatever you do on the left side, you must do on the right side in algebra, or the equation isn't what we call balanced. So in order to move a number over, I need to create a 0 first. The only way to create 0 is by adding 6 to a negative 6, and then that makes 0. So if I add 6 on the left side of the bar, I must do that on the right side. I can now cross this number out, and I'm getting a lot closer to my goal. I have 3y remaining on the left. Eventually, I will just end up with y. So 6 minus 6 is 0. That's why we use this line to cross it out. 11 plus 6, bring down your equal sign, is 17, and bring down the 1y. So remember, we popped the number over here. We popped it over to the right. This time, we want the letter to pop to the left. You'll always have something that moves over to the right and the other item moved over to the left. So if we have a positive 1y, we need to create 0. So I'm subtracting 1y to both sides. Whatever you do on the right side, you must do to the left. We're going to cross that out. 1y minus 1y is 0. Okay, and then we're just going to do the math. 3y's minus 1y would be a 2y. Bring down your equal, and the number left is 17. Please stop panicking. I know that 2 times 8 is 16, and 2 times 9 is 18. So what is the answer here? Well, remember, there's multiplication right here. What is the inverse operation of multiplication, or what's the opposite operation? The fancy word is inverse for math vocabulary. So what's the opposite operation of multiplying? Whoops, you're going to divide on both sides. So we're going to divide by 2. You always divide by whatever number is in front of the letter. So we're going to divide by 2. If I divide on the left side, I have to divide on the right side. So 2 divided by 2, it cancels to a 1. So we just end up with a 1y. And wasn't that our goal? We were supposed to get it to be the letter on the left equal to a number. So 1y, or just y, is equal to a fraction, 17 over 2. And that's the final answer. It used to be in middle school that they would make you change that into a decimal answer. I don't ever want you to change it into a decimal answer in this classroom, unless we're doing a word problem. In upper level mathematics, when you get to college, the expectation is that you leave it in an improper fraction. Just a notation in case you're moving on into college, into upper level math. Please avoid this answer. Matter of fact, if you look in any textbook, you will not see a fraction written like this. That causes a lot of errors in grading, because your answer, if you get a really picky math teacher, your answer can be interpreted a different way. So when you're writing an answer in a fraction, it should always be just a straight up and down fraction. There's only one time you ever use a slanty fraction like that, and I'll bring your attention to it. It'll come in rational exponents. So it won't be until spring. Moving on. I don't know if I skipped one there. There we go. Oh, this October, I don't want to deal with fractions. Well, I'm introducing this at the beginning of the year. It is in your textbook. It's important to learn for when we get into second semester, and it's not hard. I'm going to show you. Now, you might want to hit pause, get a separate piece of paper to write down some steps. You can also use the left side of your notes in that skinny column on the left side of your notebook. So this is easy. We're going to make the fractions go away. So we're going to clear the fractions. And then you won't be panicking so much. And I need you to work on this. There's a few of them in your homework. So the first thing you need to do is add brackets. So you're going to put brackets around the entire problem. Step 2, you're going to use the common denominator, least common denominator, to distribute. So what is the least common denominator? So you focus on the denominator, 4, 12, and 6. What is the number that we can choose that all of those numbers could divide into? Could you divide into 12? Does 4 divide into 12? Yes. Does 12 divide into 12? Yes. Does 6 divide into 12? Yes. That's how you decide on a common denominator. Well, one of the ways. Okay. And then, so we're going to use the LCD to distribute. So we're going to go like this. And we're going to distribute to everything that is inside the brackets. And what you're going to find out, you're going to multiply fractions. So I'm going to go number over number, number over number. Because remember, when we distribute, we're doing multiplication. You just go straight across when you're multiplying fractions. Straight across. Straight across. It's back in middle school, whoops, that kids would start to not like the fraction business because they really focus on adding and subtracting fractions. But in my classroom, you need to know how to multiply fractions. And all you do is you just multiply straight across tops and bottoms. Well, there isn't a bottom here, so let's make this 12 over 1, because 12 over 1 is the same as 12. So multiply straight across. 12 times 1 is 12. 1 times 4 is 4. And bring down the x. That's it. Multiply straight across tops and bottoms. So before I move on and distribute again, let's just look at what is 12 divided by 4. Doesn't that reduce to 3x? And poof, no more fraction. That was our goal. I told you I would make it easy. Okay, let's go again. Straight across for multiply. 12 times that negative 7. It's 84. 1 times 12 on the bottom. And then you can use a calculator here. 84 divided by 12. That's a 7. Don't forget to bring down your equal sign. So all I did was I multiplied 12 times 7 for 84, 1 times 12 for 12, and then you can use a calculator. 84 divide 12, enter on the calculator, would be a 7. Okay, let's do it again. We're going to multiply straight across tops and bottoms. So 12 times 5 is 60. 1 times 6 is 6. And then 60 divided by 6 is equal to 10. And there you go. Number 4 on my notes. Poof! No more fractions. Sorry, my R didn't come out very well, but I'm not going to go back and change it. No more fractions. Oh, it's bothering me. Looks like no move. No more fractions. Okay, now what? Draw your line. Remember, we want to leave the x's on the left. We want answers to end up like that, right? So that's our goal. So we have to pop the 7 over. So a negative 7, the inverse or the opposite action of negative 7 is to add 7. Bring down 3x. This line reminds you to bring down the equal sign. Don't drop them. And 10 plus 7 is 17. Remember, there's a hidden multiply right there, 3x. Divide by 3 on both sides. And here's your final answer. It's right there. X equals, and then 17 thirds. Okay, moving on to the next one for example 5. This is just a longer problem. So we need to do some simplifying first. So right here, we need to distribute first. And that's why we went over yesterday's lesson. My apologies. There we go. So you need to distribute. So you only distribute the number that is next to the parenthesis. You're only distributing the negative 2 that's right next to the parentheses. So this item just needs to come down and then distribute negative 2x. And what's a negative 2 times a negative 5? Positive 10. And then I'll bring down the rest of the problem. Okay, so then if you just take a look at the problem here, I keep hitting the wrong thing. Hold on. This is where I start panicking because it won't come up. My little arrow. There it is. Ah, that is so tricky. Hold on, you guys. Oh. There it is. All right. So if we take a look at the problem, this side is really short, it's just 7x minus 2, but this side is much longer, right? So we need to do another step here, and that would be combine like terms. Sorry about my screen there. So 5x minus 2x is 3x. So that's the combine like term step. You can tell you need to do that because this has too many items. It's got 3 items. You want to bring it down to 2 items on each side. All right. Okay, you're going to draw your line and you're going to solve. So remember, we're always taking this number and popping it over to the other side. Positive 10 would be minus 10 to both sides. I'm going to bring down 3x. Don't forget to bring down your equals. That's what the bar is for. This 7x needs to just come down. And how much is negative 2 minus 10? You can enter that on a calculator. You start from the top. Just enter negative 2 minus 10. Enter. I'll give you negative 12. Okay. So then the next step is, since we moved the number to the right, we're going to move the letter to the left. So the opposite of positive 7x is a negative 7x. So you must do that on both sides of this bar. So you can enter on a calculator from the top down. 3 minus 7. Enter on the calculator. You'll get a negative 4x. So you would just enter from the top. 3 minus 7. Enter. You get negative 4. And be careful when you bring this number down that you pick up that symbol. It's a negative 12. So the symbol in front needs to come down as well. And then on this problem again, you're going to undo that multiply by dividing on both sides by a negative. And your answer can be reduced this time. What's negative 12 divided by negative 4? So you read it from the top down. You can actually enter that on a calculator. Negative 12 divide negative 4, enter, and you should get the answer of 3. Okay, moving on. Okay, this problem is just really, really long, but it's the same as what we did before. Okay, so I'm gonna draw these little arrows for you, because anytime there's parentheses, then you should have caught on by now that that's distribute, and you're gonna have to do that 3 times here. Now remember, you only distribute the number that's in front of the parenthesis. So you're only going to distribute a negative 6, so that means that these items get brought down. So you're going to bring those down. And then I'm going to have you hit pause here and go ahead and do that work, and then come back to the screen, please. Okay, let's see how you did. Hopefully you got that row. Negative 12 plus 6, because a negative times a negative is a positive. 12x, negative 9, negative 7x, and a positive 14. Okay, so both, if you just look at one side right here, this is really, really, really long. So go one side at a time and go ahead and combine like terms. Hit pause, please, and do that and come back. Combine like terms. Hit pause. Okay, so 4x's minus 12x's. You can enter that on a calculator. 4 minus 12, enter. It would give you back a negative 8x. And how much is 8 plus 6? Would be 14. On this side, 12x's minus 7x's. 12x's minus 7x's is 5x's. You just 12 minus 7 is 5. And then a negative 9 plus 14, enter on the calculator. You would go negative 9 plus 14, enter. Or you can just go 14 minus 9 in your brain. 14 minus 9, right? So it'd be 5. Please hit pause and finish the problem. You would start by drawing the line through the center. Please hit pause. Okay, so you should have popped the 14 over. That would have been subtracting 14. 14 minus 14 is 0. Down comes negative 8x right here. 5x. And you can just enter on a calculator 5 minus 14, enter. And you should get negative 9 minus 9. Drawing the line again. Since we popped the number over to the right, now we're going to pop the letters over to the left. Opposite of 5x is negative 5x. This makes 0. You should always have 1 0 on the left side and 1 0 on the right. So negative 8x minus 5x is negative 13x, and bring down negative 9. If you enter this on a calculator, it would be negative 8 minus 5, enter. Negative 8 minus 5, enter. Okay, you always divide by whatever number is in front of the letter, so we're going to divide by negative 13 on both sides. So your final answer would be, what is a negative divided by a negative? So remember yesterday we reviewed the rules. What's a negative times a negative is a positive. Well, it turns out that the rules for multiplication up here and division are exactly the same. So if you divide, a negative over a negative gives you positive 9 over 13. You could also enter this in the calculator, and it would come back as a positive 9 over 13. So this one's the final answer. Okay, moving on. Okay, you have homework. So you can leave this screen on, but it's textbook 57 to 62. All of those are there, plus